Okay, so let's talk about events. I've deleted everything in the graph, and to make the event, the begin play we've used so far, you can just write begin play. What you can do also, if you want to find events, you can right click and write event. And you can see here that you have all of these different events that you can add, and they have this small arrow to the side. Okay, so right now we have used the begin play, and if you click it, an event is created. Events are red in color, so if you see something that is red in color, this is an event. Okay, so events are needed to drive code. So without events, you can't really drive any code. So for example, the classic one we've used, if we change the location of the floor that we have, and don't worry, I'll be using more advanced examples later on. I just want to explain the fundamentals to you. And so if we change the location of the floor and we add this vector variable that we made earlier, so now we have a function and it's connected to the event. And maybe we want to print a message later on after we change the location, and we say, nice, we changed the floor location. Okay, so if this event is not here, if it's disconnected, and by the way, you can disconnect by holding Alt and clicking on the execution pin. So now it's disconnected, and if no event is connected, this will never run. So now if I click play, nothing will really happen because you're not telling the game what to do when it begins playing the game. So you have to connect it to an event for it to play. And this is for everything, okay? You have to have an event for something to happen. Now there are other events. So the next one is the event tick. And the event tick is a bit dangerous, but it is there. And the event tick is called every single frame. So it will run your code 60 times a second. And this is very dangerous because it will destroy the optimization of your game if you're not careful. So it will make your game lag if you're not careful and if you use it all the time. And what I will say is try to never use this unless you really have to. So try not to use it, only do it if you have to. But I will show you what happens if I print a string and I'll click play. You can see here it's actually playing 60 times a second. Okay, so this is what the event tick is, and let's go to the next ones. For example, we have the actor begin overlap, and we have the actor end overlap. So this is what happens when you begin overlapping, and you can see this is with the floor right now because I have selected the floor in the viewport, and if I right click, you can actually see here add event for floor. So if you click it and you can choose these different events, for example collision, you can find these begin overlap and end overlap over here. So what happens when you begin overlapping with the floor? What happens when you end overlapping with your floor? So these are events, these are also red. The next thing I want to talk about, very important, and you will be using this all the time, is creating your custom events. So if you right click and write custom, you can see here that you can click add custom event. If you click that, you can give the event a name. So for example, I will call it add coins. So maybe we want to use this event for when the player walks over a coin, we want to add coins to this variable called amount of coins, which is an integer that we made earlier. So what I will do is drag this out while holding control. I'll let go. So it's getting this variable. And this one is set to 200 coins right now as a default value. So what I will do is, for example, let's pretend the player walks over a coin, and this will give him 5 coins. So writing plus to add, and I will add 5 coins. And now we have to set the new amount to this variable. So if you hold Alt, drag out, and put it down so it sets the variable. Now you can connect this new amount to set the variable. So now it's actually 205 instead of 200. Okay, so now you have added coins, and let's delete this for now. Okay, so if you click play now, remember, this is the begin play event. This is what will happen when you begin playing the game. And right now, nothing is happening because you haven't really told your game when to play this. This is not being run anywhere. Okay, so to run this code, you have to call it somewhere. So this is called calling the event. So you have to call it, and to call it, you can just write the name of the event. So now I am calling it in the begin play. I'm telling the game, when you start playing the game, please go over to this event and run the code. So add coins, it will go down to add coins, and it will run this event. It will add 5 coins to my variable and then set it. Okay, so I can click play. You can see nothing is displayed, but it's actually working. But this is because we're not printing it to the screen. We can't see anything. So just to see that it's actually working, let's try to write print string and let's connect them. And now let's compile, save, and play. And you can see here it says 205 instead of 200. So this code is actually working now. So remember, you have to call the event for it to work. This is always working because this is the standard event. It will always run when you begin playing the game. And when you begin playing the game, we told the computer or the game that you should go over to this event and run the code. And we can do this as many times as we want. Maybe I want to make another custom event, and I will call it coins message. And with this event, I actually want to print out this message. So I don't want to print out anything up here because I only want to add coins up here. So down here, I want to print a message, and I want to print the amount that I looted. So to do this, take the amount of coins again, and you can hold it and connect it to the string. So now what you're going to see is now we begin playing the game. You are telling the game to go over to add coins, like you're calling this event. You are adding coins to this variable and setting it. But now you have to call this event too, because the game doesn't really know when to play this event. You haven't told it anywhere when to run. So to do this, most logically, it's after this. When you add the coins, I want to play a message. So I will call this event coins message. This is the event. So now after adding the coins, it will go down to this event and it will print a string. Okay, so let's put them up here together a bit and let's compile, save, and now we can click play and you can see that it says 205. So this flow is working. It's going all the way down here. So this is how you make custom events, and this will be used all the time. And remember to call the event, else nothing will happen.